I think it's the best television science fiction ever made. No doubt about it.
It's gonna try to get into your head.
30 million people should be watching this every week.
You seen it?
It's the Bible of television. That's what it is.
Seems you made an impression after all.
See that?
I think it's the best show I've ever seen.
It's like a very subversive series.
Apollo! Get out of there! Abort!
The concept of the show is so amazing, having all these individuals crash land on an airplane on this magical island. And
Battle what?
Galactica Actual, go ahead.
I'm getting my men.
I have to admit, I was a bit leery about Battlestar Galactica.
I suggest you reconsider.
There were so many like revampings of old things, and I was like, I don't think so. And then I finally caved, and the second you start watching, you're like, all right, it might be the most awesome thing.
Are you alive?
It was like taking a canvas high top that you would see white dudes in the 50s playing basketball in and making the Air Jordan. This is what this series is now.
Stand up there and give them what they need. A hero.
I'll sit down and go, that's more entertainment, more twists, more unexpected stuff, more humanity, more shocking, like extraordinary storytelling than I've seen. That was a great episode, and then they'll run the opening credits.
I think I called you and said, what the frack did you turn me on to?
There's no weak link. It's just in that upper echelon of television.
The Peabody Award is presented to Battlestar Galactica.
Every week, it's better than going to the movies.
Frakkin' unbelievable.
That was off the record.
It's not a guilty pleasure show. It's a great show.
If you like science fiction, you're gonna love it. If you don't like science fiction, I think you're gonna love it.
Brace for contact, my friend. It won't be an easy journey, but I promise you one thing. On the memory of those lying here before you, we shall find it, and Earth will become our new home.
Battlestar Galactica is basically about the end and possibly the beginning of the human race.
The show's about the last 40-odd, 50,000 survivors of the human race who have left their home planet, Caprica, because they were attacked by the Cylons.
Machines that we built that, of course, have out-evolved us.
Everyone's thinking there was some kind of peace treaty. Nobody's heard a peep from the Cylons in 40 years.
And then out of the blue, the robots attack. And basically most of human life is wiped out, except for the few people that are on spaceships.
I remember sweating when they pull away and you see the nuclear bombs going off on that planet. And you've got these machines that supposedly we created that are hunting us down and trying to extinguish the rest of humankind. You know, you rally behind that.
We make mistakes, people die. There aren't many of us left.
We not only have to survive, we have to deserve to survive. And the decisions that are so crucial that we have to make, sometimes with our hearts and sometimes absolutely without them, really is what I think the show revolves around.
They would have destroyed themselves anyway. They deserve what they got.
We're the children of humanity. That makes them our parents, in a sense.
True. But parents have to die. It's the only way children come into their own.
There's 12 different Cylon models, all with different personalities, different attitudes, and they've evolved into, you know, these ultra-humans, basically.
The Cylons have the ability to mimic human form. They look like us now.
That's what I think has made this version of Galactica so much superior than the original one, because you don't know who the Cylons are. I could be a Cylon.
I'm not a fracking Cylon. I'm not... Oh. Well. Okay, then.
What Battlestar does right is most science fiction shows forget that science fiction is not a story, it's a setting.
It doesn't depend on spaceships and aliens and blinking lights and kind of the kitschy stuff that cheapens a lot of sci-fi. Battlestar Galactica is all about storytelling.
Permission to speak off the record, sir.
Granted.
You're a bastard.
You just don't know when to keep your mouth shut, do you?
You're weak. Because you're a drunk.
You done?
Yes, sir.
When you hear the word sci-fi, that literally makes women run screaming. They're like, huh? What? I'm gonna go read The Kite Runner! So that alone is a hurdle.
The strangest thing about it is they pull off this dark, doomsday military look, and yet it appeals to my wife.
Very sweet. You love me. No, you love me.
You can't take it back. There's no take-backs.
Battlestar Galactica is all about human beings.
I have cancer. I wish I could say it was the least of my worries, but the world is coming to an end, and all I can think about is that I have cancer and I'm probably going to die.
My wife and I watch it together. If either of us watched it without the other, that would be grounds for divorce.
Men and women can share this. My wife not included. She'd rather watch Dancing with the Stars. Relationships are the central focus of it.
You know, sometimes it feels like the whole ship thinks Starbuck would do better.
I don't.
How can you be so sure?
Because you're my son.
If you lived in a world that was suddenly taken away from you and you just happened to live, how would you continue to live?
I never wanted this kind of responsibility.
The Cylons never asked us what we wanted. Welcome to the big leagues.
What's great about the show is there's a constant sense of urgency.
Straightest contact. It's the Cylons.
Damn it. The whole underlying story of can we save this race? How do you keep people hopeful when you're floating through space?
You've got 50,000 people left on these spaceships, running out of food, running out of air, running out of everything, and constantly under attack by the Cylons, a far superior force. The tone is as dark as it should be. How could you make light of the fact that the human race is about to become extinct?
How many casualties do we anticipate?
It'll cost us.
If you succeed, what's to prevent the Cylons from coming back with reinforcements?
Nothing. But if you keep running from the schoolyard bully, he keeps on chasing you, but the moment you turn around and stop and you punch him really hard in a sensitive spot, he'll think twice about coming back again.
Even though the humans are so outmatched in every way, shape, and form, they just gotta suck it up.
So it's either this or run out of fuel and be annihilated.
Sometimes you have to roll the hard six.
Battlestar is shot in a way that few science fiction shows are, by making everything seem extremely real, extremely lived in.
Welcome to Galactica.
Well, you gotta remember that Galactica was a decommissioned Battlestar. It was gonna be a museum. It's a bucket. It's an old warhorse.
Is your auto landing system down? I was hands-on for the whole approach.
It's all hands-on here, Captain. There are no auto landings on the Galactica.
Visually, it just sets the entire tone. These dark corridors, everything seems wet and cold and frankly like it's gonna break down.
And hard seal.
Hard seal secured, sir.
And all the old phone stuff must have saved them a bundle. We have the same phones here at E.
I'd want one. And I would just say, Joss Actual, all the time. And people would say, please don't answer the phone like that. It's embarrassing.
Attention, set condition 1 throughout the fleet.
It was all about function. It's not about